Let's get started by creating a new project. Tap on the green plus button to create a blank project and then tap on the name if you'd like to call it something other than Untitled. In this case, we're going to call the project Fight. Once that's done, you can tap on the project to open it. At the top of the animation screen is a button with a flower on it. This button displays the image options menu. In this case, we're going to use it to select a background image for our animation. At the bottom left-hand corner of the screen are 6 buttons with stick figures on them. We're now going to add a figure to our animation by tapping on the top one. This brings up the Add Figure popover. It contains a number of ready-made figures that come with StickMotion. In this case though, I'm going to select the knight that I created earlier and store it under the Bin 1 tab. And because you'll need someone to fight, I'll bring in a second knight as well. The flashing circle on the knight's neck is known as its anchor point. You can select a figure by tapping on its anchor point, or move a figure around by dragging its anchor point. To make animation easier, you can use 2 fingers to pinch and zoom the display, or 2 fingers to drag the display around. The little yellow button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen may then be used to reset the display. Tap on a figure's anchor point to bring up the figure options overlay. This will allow you to easily scale or rotate a figure. A figure may be returned to its original size by tapping on the yellow 1 times button. Tap on the blue button next to that to flip a figure. In this case, we'd like both knights to be the same size. For precise adjustments, you may tap where the figure scaling factor is displayed. And of course, we need to flip one of the knights so they're facing each other. Now it's just a matter of setting up the 2 knights in their starting positions. You'll notice that the currently selected figure has little red dots all over it. These are known as handles and may be dragged to pivot each movable part of the figure. If you're wondering why each handle has a little red line jutting out of it, that points to the spot where the given part is attached, and thus rotates around. With both knights now in position, we can create the next frame in our animation by pressing the large green button with the plus in it. The film strip at the bottom of the screen now shows that our animation has 2 frames. The frame that you're currently working on will be highlighted. StickMotion will also display a ghost image of the previous frame, known as an onion skin. You can use that to determine how far you've moved a character or part thereof. The opacity of the onion skin may be adjusted via the options menu. So now it's just a matter of repeating this process to set up each frame in your animation. You may have also noticed that whenever a frame is altered, a green tick appears in the film strip. You can press that to save your changes without creating a new frame. And if you make a mistake, press the little yellow rollback button at the top of the screen to return the frame to its last saved state. Let's now speed things up a little bit while I create a few frames. At the bottom of the screen is a green slider. You can drag the slider to quickly move from frame to frame in your animation. This will also display a preview, allowing you to easily find the frame that you're looking for. To see a preview of your animation, tap on the little blue play button next to the slider. The animation will play in a continuous loop. You can adjust the playback speed by dragging the top slider. Alternatively, you can press the stop button, then move from frame to frame using the bottom slider or the plus and minus buttons. Once you're happy with your animation, the final step is to create a video by pressing the little blue output button at the top of the screen. Here you can set the playback speed in frames per second, tweening parameters, which I'll explain in my next animation tutorial, and the output resolution. If you're lucky enough to have an iPad with a Retina display, videos may be produced in Full HD. Please note that it can take some time to generate a video, especially where you're using a lot of figures with images. In this case, our animation only had 7 frames. With tweening, however, StickMotion is actually going to produce 49. So what does the end result look like? Because it's so short, I'll play it a few times so you can see.